what we carry forward. The social worker's voice was gentle but firm. Mrs. Chen, I need you to understand, your daughter may never speak. She may never live independently. You need to prepare yourself for that reality. Lily Chen looked down at her 3-year-old daughter, May, who sat rocking on the floor, humming a tuneless song to herself, unreachable. The diagnosis was still fresh, severe autism, they'd said. Nonverbal. Significant developmental delays. The words felt like doors slamming shut, one after another. But Lily had heard that tone before, 28 years ago, in a different language, when officials told her parents that girls weren't worth educating, that she should work in the factory, that dreaming was for other people's daughters. She'd proven them wrong then. She would prove them wrong now. What Lily didn't know, sitting in that sterile office holding her silent daughter's hand, was that the next 15 years would break her in ways she couldn't imagine. But they would also reveal a kind of love she'd never known she was capable of, the kind that doesn't announce itself or expect recognition, the kind that simply shows up, day after impossible day, and refuses to quit. In the beginning, Lily tried everything. Speech therapists who shook their heads sympathetically. Occupational therapists who suggested residential facilities might be better equipped. Special diets, sensory integration, weighted blankets, picture cards. She read every book, joined every support group, drove hours to see specialists who told her variations of the same thing, lower your expectations. Her husband, David, meant well but gradually retreated into work. I can't watch you break your heart every day, he finally admitted. They divorced when May was 5, amicably, sadly, both of them too exhausted to fight. Lily's mother flew in from Beijing to help but lasted 3 weeks. This is too hard, she said, weeping at the airport. I don't know how you do this alone. Because she's my daughter, Lily said simply. Who else will I be, if not her mother? But alone at night, after May finally slept, if she slept, because some nights she didn't, Lily wept too. She grieved the daughter she'd imagined, the one who would tell her about school, complain about homework, roll her eyes at mom jokes. She grieved the conversations they'd never have, the milestones that weren't coming. And then, each morning, she got up and tried again. The breakthrough came not from experts but from an old man at the park. May was 7, having a meltdown because the swings were full. Lily was doing what she'd learned, staying calm, keeping May safe, ignoring the stares. An elderly Chinese man sat on a nearby bench, and instead of looking away, he began humming, a simple melody, repetitive and soothing. May's screaming quieted. She tilted her head, listening. The man smiled at Lily and continued humming, patting the bench beside him. Tentatively, Lily guided May over. The man introduced himself as Mr. Wu, a retired music teacher. He hummed the melody again, and May, miraculously, hummed back, the first time she'd ever deliberately mimicked another person. Lily's hand shook. Would you teach her? Mr. Wu came to their apartment twice a week, refusing payment. He was patient in ways the paid therapists weren't, never frustrated when May couldn't follow instructions, simply offering sound and letting her respond in her own time. Slowly, over months, May began humming specific notes. Then tapping rhythms. Then, one afternoon, she touched the keys of Mr. Wu's portable keyboard and played back a simple scale he'd demonstrated. Your daughter, Mr. Wu said quietly, she speaks. Just not with words. For the first time since the diagnosis, Lily felt something shift. Not false hope, she was too tired for that. But a recalibration. Maybe May's future didn't have to look like everyone else's to be meaningful. Maybe Lily's job wasn't to fix her daughter but to learn her language. The years that followed were still hard. Middle school was brutal, bullying that May couldn't articulate, social isolation that broke Lily's heart daily. Lily became fierce in ways that surprised her, fighting for inclusion, filing complaints, sitting through endless IEP meetings where she was the only one who believed May was more than her limitations. Money was constantly tight. Lily worked as a bookkeeper from home so she could be available when May needed her. She stopped buying new clothes for herself, stopped going out with friends, not as martyrdom, but because there simply wasn't time or energy for anything beyond May. Some days she resented it. She let herself feel that, the unfairness of it, and then she kept going. When May was 13, disaster struck. Mr. Wu died peacefully in his sleep. May stopped eating for 3 days, rocking and humming his melodies over and over. Lily held her daughter and grieved too, for the man who'd seen what no one else had, who'd given them both a gift they didn't know they needed. At the funeral, Mr. Wu's daughter approached Lily. "My father left this for May," she said, handing over a small keyboard. "He wanted her to keep playing." That night, Lily set up the keyboard in May's room. For weeks, her daughter wouldn't touch it. Then, one evening, Lily heard music, halting at first, then growing stronger. May was playing the melody Mr. Wu had first hummed at the park, but she was adding to it, making it her own. Lily stood outside the door, listening to her daughter speak. High school brought another crisis. The school district wanted to move May to a segregated program. Lily knew what that meant, the end of any inclusion, any chance for May to be part of the wider world. She fought. Hired a lawyer she couldn't afford. Represented herself at the hearing when the lawyer said the case was unwinnable. She brought recordings of May's music, testimonies from the one teacher who believed in her daughter, and her own testimony about what she'd learned in 15 years of being told what May couldn't do. "My daughter communicates through music," Lily told the hearing officer. "She understands more than anyone has given her credit for. She deserves the chance to show you, to show everyone, that different doesn't mean less." They won. Barely. May stayed in her school with increased support. But the victory cost Lily. The stress triggered a health crisis, her blood pressure spiked dangerously, and her doctor warned that she was heading for a heart attack if she didn't slow down. "I can't slow down," Lily said. "I'm all she has." "And what does she have if you die?" the doctor replied. It was the question that finally broke through. Lily had spent so many years being what May needed that she'd forgotten she needed to survive this too. She started accepting help, from a respite care worker, from a support group, from her ex-husband who'd slowly found his way back into their lives, not as a partner but as a co-parent who'd finally learned to show up. It wasn't weakness to need help, she realized. It was the only way to keep going. May graduated high school at 21, cap and gown and everything. She didn't walk across the stage, loud noises still overwhelmed her. But she was there, humming quietly to herself, and when they called her name, Lily cried the way she hadn't let herself cry in years. After graduation, the question loomed, what now? May couldn't live independently, couldn't hold a traditional job, couldn't do most of what society defined as adult life. But she could make music. Lily started a small YouTube channel, posting videos of May playing keyboard, improvised pieces that were strange and beautiful and entirely her own. She didn't expect anything from it, just wanted a record of her daughter's voice, the one people insisted didn't exist. The first video got 40 views. The second got 200. Then one went viral, May's interpretation of a popular song, played entirely by ear, with her own ethereal variations. Comments flooded in, "This is genius. Who is this artist? More please." A music producer reached out, wanting to feature May's music in a documentary about neurodiversity and art. Then a small label interested in releasing an album. Nothing that would make them rich, but enough to show the world what Lily had always known, her daughter had something to offer, if anyone would listen. May's first album released on her 23rd birthday. It was called What We Carry Forward, a title Lily chose because it felt true. We carry forward the people who believed in us, the moments that changed us, the love that refused to give up even when it would have been easier. At the small release gathering at their local community center, May played while Lily watched from the back of the room. Her daughter was still nonverbal, still needed support with basic tasks, still lived at home and probably always would. And she was extraordinary. Now, at 25, May has a modest following, people who love her music, who don't need her to be anything other than what she is. She plays locally sometimes, at galleries and cafes that understand her needs. Lily is always there, managing the details, making sure the environment is right, protecting her daughter while letting her shine. People sometimes praise Lily's devotion, call her a saint. She hates that. "I'm not a saint," she says. "I'm just her mother." This is what love looks like, not the romantic movie version, but the actual work of loving someone exactly as they are. On hard days, and there are still hard days, Lily thinks about that social worker's warning 22 years ago. She may never speak. She may never live independently. The social worker was right. May doesn't speak with words, doesn't live independently. But the social worker was also wrong about what mattered. May speaks through music that moves strangers to tears. She lives interdependently, in a life that she and Lily have built together, not the life anyone expected, but a life nonetheless, full of meaning and beauty and connection. Lily's ambition was never to become a crusader or an advocate, though she became both. It was never to prove anyone wrong, though she did that too. Her ambition, from the moment she held her daughter's hand in that clinical office, was simply this: to love May so completely, so specifically, that her daughter would know, wordlessly but certainly, that she was seen, valued, and enough. And every day, through patience and presence and the kind of fierce, quiet devotion that doesn't make headlines, Lily fulfills that ambition. The world finally hears her daughter's voice. But Lily heard it all along. That's what mothers do, they listen for the song before anyone else knows there's music playing. And they keep listening, year after year, until the world catches up.